my friends, and welcome back to The Witcher 3, the Blood and Wine DLC. In yesterday's video, we wrapped up several side quests and then began to work on the quest, The Cage of Foe, where I had to make my way to a cemetery to meet up with Regis, but obviously things have gotten in the way. A bunch of bugs have gotten in the way. So today's plan is to hopefully find Regis and, talk to him and go from there, but that's all I got right now. So it wants me to go this way, so let's go this way. Oh. Does it just circle back around, it looks like? Is that Regis like right in there probably? Probably. That was really close. I always do that. I always think it's so much farther away than it really is. Repair kit, we'll take that. I can't seem to loot that for some reason, game, but it's fine.
Someone placed an illusion here.
Oh. Do I... Oh, I should have looked at the illusion, I guess, first. Oh well, we'll go back to it.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megoscope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Can we just have a moment where apparently Geralt's been walking around with this hand in his back pocket for weeks now, in all reality, which is kind of gross, but anyway, let's move on. What do you want to use the hand for?
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
The ring, what's its provenance?
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Who's your old friend? So I have questions about vampires. I'm sure it might become clearer over the course of the game, and if not, like I'll get there eventually. So was he alive when the conjunction of spheres happened? Like, where did they have their vampire homeworld? If they did have their vampire homeworld, was it just vampires? If it was just vampires, what did they eat? Do they like get married, have babies? Like, is that a thing? Like, how does one make another vampire? Are they born that way or are they made that way? I have lots of questions. I imagine, like I said, some of them will be answered, so no spoilers, please. So can't you just summon Dettlaff?
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Yeah, that's let's not walk a tightrope over lava. I'd prefer to avoid that option too. So brew the decoction.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned, him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Yeah, we're gonna drink, but I again want to have a moment where like I feel like they just did it so much better in this DLC with the slight, mannerisms where he kind of like rolls his eyes about the, slight nudge to his ego, like a bird's might be better than you at finding things. So anyway, let's drink.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Seems you choose to misunderstand. I don't want to talk. This is set up trying to get me to confess something. Well, Geralt has lots of secrets.
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Oh, lots. Lots, obviously. So where have you been? What have you been doing?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Dettlaff bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now.
What's it like being dead? That seems rather rude, but let's ask it anyway.
Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Dettlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Yeah.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
So how are you handling abstinence, not drinking blood?
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start? Blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Well, what's regeneration like?
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Dettlaff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
Yeah.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Really? That's interesting. So maybe there's something you want to ask me, something specific.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
Well, I think he'd prefer to be someone else. I think if he died being a witcher, well, he did technically die being a witcher, and he still is a witcher, but he wasn't really given much of a choice, was he? I think if he was given a choice, I think Geralt might want to do something else for a change, so let's go with it.
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that had earned me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
A vampire's version of soon versus a normal person's version of soon. They've got to be two different things.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
I appreciate the compliment.
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted wight. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted wight before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted wights. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the wight survived entirely unmolested.
Well, do you know anything about this curse? And we fought a wight when we were doing the quest with Guillaume and what's her name? Ugh, it's not Victoria. It's I can't remember her name. It's not important. But I thought we fought a wight on the way to track her down in her bird form the first time. But maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, what's this about a curse?
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the Wight's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Yeah, but we'll probably do things beyond that because we're Geralt and that's how we roll. So, know anything else about this Wight? By the way, I have to say, I feel like I said it maybe yesterday, but the music going on right now is really awesome. And I wonder if it's like Regis's theme music, but it's really hauntingly beautiful.
Wights rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted wight after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted wight is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Okay, well, I guess it's time to visit the Wight.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that wight. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the Wight will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the Wight to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
He says my friend, and I feel like they're like frenemy friends. I don't know. I just get the vibe that like Geralt doesn't quite trust Regis so much. Maybe that's just the Witcher in him, I guess, but I don't know. Okay, so there was a character update for Regis, but there's also an update on, or a new entry on spotted wights. So the best defense against spotted wights, stay calm and leave them alone. Fragment of a treatise on spotted wights by Roderick Gilligan. Spotted wights were a subspecies of wight which the Witchers drove to extinction. They were larger than their unspotted kin and owed their names to their numerous blotches and effusions. Ooh. Spotted wights would most often dwell in derelict cemeteries and empty wildernesses, yet at times took to living in abandoned human domiciles. There they would indulge in their greatest passion, creating brews from their own emissions. Ew. Ew. Ugh. No wonder they were hunted to extinction. That's just disgusting. When not disturbed, spotted wights would not act aggressively. If threatened, however, they became very dangerous indeed. In the colder months or when faced with an unseasonable chill, they would slip into a state of lethargy, making them easy targets. Even during their active periods, it is said that Witchers found a surefire way of besting them, based around careful casting of the Yrden sign, or at least so claims Witcher lore. So fire, Igni, Yrden, and then necrophage oil. But let's look at Regis's update. Here we go, it's under E, not R, dummy. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Geralt found mere-lachaiselongue cemetery and the crypt where Regis not only lived but had also managed to set up a well-equipped alchemist workshop. They began to confer. Regis explained he believed his friend had become implicated in some serious trouble. When they figured out they had overlapping goals, they decided to join forces and together seek out the vampire Dettlaff, better known in the duchy as the Beast of Beauclair. Geralt also learned how it was Regis had returned to the world of the living. He had been helped by none other than the very one they sought, Dettlaff. In light of this, Regis insisted they find a peaceful solution to the Dettlaff problem. I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with that for right now. We'll see how it all plays out. So Geralt and Regis decided that an aid was needed to find Dettlaff, a certain potion called resonance. To brew it, Regis needed some bodily tissue from the object of their pursuit. Luckily, Geralt had earlier found a dismembered hand belonging to the murderer. Another ingredient needed to brew resonance was saliva or salivary glands from a spotted wight. Having discovered that one such creature resided nearby, Regis sent the Witcher to hunt it down. Okay, we need to go do that. But But, we need to go back in here. And there was that hidden thing down here. Hidden something. Something had... Sorry, Geralt. I don't want to look around Regis's place for a minute. Biography of the Vampire Regis from the Quill of Dandelion. Oh. One of the most extraordinary individuals I have encountered during my numerous adventure at Geralt's side was a vampire known as Regis. To be precise, he was known as Emiel Regis Rohellec Terzieff-Godefry. By his own reckoning, he was 428 years old and was a descendant of unfortunate beings trapped in our world during the conjunction of spheres. You are surely thinking, dear reader, about Catachan, Alps, and other such monsters, and are pondering how it was that the Witcher, who it must be admitted is a slayer of monsters, came to keep such company. I must here explain that Regis was a higher vampire, a creature which physically does not differ all that much from man. Higher vampires are also much more powerful than their wild confreres, and their regenerative abilities significantly outpace those of anything else you have encountered or can ever imagine. But it is not because of his outer appearance or inner strength that Regis became our dear companion. True, he could be pretentious and rather pompous in his frequent length peroration, whatever. But one would be hard-pressed to find in him the haughtiness usually present in higher beings. Regis valued human life dearly and refused to kill unless forced to do so. As he once confessed, higher vampires do not, in fact, need to drink blood at all in order to survive. They treat it somewhat as we treat alcohol. A rough grasp of this dynamic might be given to you by the fact that when we met him, Regis had been abstinent for years. He never revealed to us why he decided to join our search for Ciri. He had never met her before, nor did he live to see her. He died at Stig Castle during the battle against the mad mage Vilgefortz, who was responsible for the whole affair. He died for a cause which he surely did not fully understand, but he did it to defend those he held dear, and simply because it was the right thing to do. I shall always remember him as a rural surgeon, not Anne, reeking of herbs. That is how he came to us during our first encounter at the Fencairn necropolis, when he treated me and my companions to a fantastic brew he made from mandrake root. Wherever you are, my friend, bottoms up. Oh, that's sweet. I feel like I keep looting the same books over and over again. So, Arkadius Borovic lived to a ripe old age. In fact, he lived so long he died of boredom. Well, there you go. That's one way to go, I suppose. I'm just getting all the ingredients so I can... He turned into smoke. It's kind of cool. All right, there was something here that was hidden. Interesting is right. Casus Foderus. Gray armor die. A knight's oath. Here rests Sir Ramon of Gishan. On my grave you will not find the likeness of the man who once lived. I gave my heart, soul, and body to be knightly craft, and I wish to be remembered as a knight. The symbol of chivalry is a naked sword, and that symbol rests above me, the sword that defended my honor, my friends, and my heart, the sword that was closer to me than a brother, the sword that was never stained by the blood of an innocent man. Let it rest on this stone throughout the ages. As I just stole it, and will no doubt probably sell it. But who hid it? And why did they hide it? I have questions. As usual. Okay, let's go up here and see if there's anything interesting to be seen. Regis is just teleporting around left and right. My last thought before I succumb to sleep. My last thoughts before falling asleep. If there is no death, does life exist? Hate is a very interesting feeling. I have noticed that people improve themselves with it to great effect. Sometimes I would like to stop thinking. If we were to create a god as the humans have, what would he be like? People justify bad deeds by good intentions. I'm not sure if there is a greater idiocy. I would drink the freshly squeezed blood of an infant. I know I can't, but I hope that its velvety taste will send me to sleep. I strive to live like a person, and it means that I have ceased to feel good among people as well as among my own. Maybe I made a big mistake. I have always wanted to write. I'm very tired and fuck it all. People don't think about the present. They usually remember old times or worry about the future. Yeah, that I can relate to that one a lot. I have a feeling that my friend Dettlaff will die. I am sad. Oh, that's Regeneration potion formula. 8 measures of vervain extract, Leschenfang, Sancurum, Alphantra, broth made of young mandrake shoots. Grind the larger ingredients, add the smaller ones whole. Boil everything in a bronze kettle using crystal water. Consume the mixture twice daily in half-measured doses. Do not exceed the recommended dosage. There is a skeleton with a head on it. That's different. Kind of weird, but...
Decoction coming along? Doing all right?
Better than you. No sign of the Wight's brew or its salivary glands, I see.
I feel like he's got like a witch's bubbling cauldron and it's green. This is kind of, you know... I mean, if you've got to live in a crypt, like here's a skeleton with a, partial armor on him. Interesting. It's very, very interesting. Okay, we've read that. So, sorry, Geralt. I keep setting you on fire. Is this the way out? I think. It is. Okay. Well, let's see. Where do we need to go for this quest? All the way over there. There's question marks I can work on along the way, which I do want to do because I've also got a bunch of quests that I need to kind of refresh my memory on. But I think we can continue to work on this quest. I don't foresee anything bad happening, but let's see. We've got question marks here. Let's start making our way over this way, which means I need to make my way... Oh, what was down here, though? By the water. There was that cute little cabin-looking thing here. Ooh, I like it's all foggy. So tiny.
If my lips don't stink of wine, my wife won't know they're mine.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, sir. I really feel like it's not. See, there's what looks like decrepit castle falling apart over there that I need to explore for a question mark, I think. But there's a bridge and stuff over there. So let's head... I don't know if we went here. I don't feel like we went here. But let's go we'll just wind our way around. Just for a little bit. Get some exploration in, because I feel like I'm falling behind. I feel like one of you said I'm not terribly falling behind, but I feel like I've just been wandering around the city doing silly quests for a really long time. Silly, but extremely fun quests for a while. Plus, I need to find all this Witcher gear and upgrade all of that. And okay, so not here, but here, hang a left, I think. And then I see beasties over there on the beach. And then let's come to here. Let's try to go back to the island today. We might have enough time for that. We'll see how it goes. All right, that's not quite going as well as I'd hoped. There we go. I just kind of like barreled in as usual. Ah! So yeah, that didn't... It went well in the end, but as usual. Okay, let's put away the sword. At least I used the right sword. Hasn't rained in here yet, has it? I don't think so. It's always been super sunny since coming here, I think. I don't think it's rained once. Crane Isle. Hope I'm not... Oh, it's the prison. Oh, interesting. It is hard to believe Toussaint, now so vibrant and full of life, once fell victim to a leprosy epidemic. To isolate the infected from the healthy, by ducal decree, a leper colony was created on Crane Isle. When all the colony's inhabitants died, the complex gradually fell into ruin, and the decision was made to adapt it into a prison, which remains to this day. Interesting. There's a dog. Oh, I thought it was following me. Hello? Can I go into the prison, guardsman? There's a question mark over here. I need to get there.
Out of my way.
Can I not go in?
Oh. Ah!
We'll just try swimming around. See if I can get in that way. Probably not. Oh gosh, Geralt. Oh gosh, Geralt. Stop. We're gonna get stuck again, no doubt. Hidden treasure. Ooh. Escape Artist's Journal. Part of the journal is sticky with dried blood. 22nd day of the month of Birk. The worst part of my works, not that I have to crawl through cesspits, jump from great heights, dive into canals, be tied up, untied, lashed, burned, tortured, have my fingernails ripped out, or scraped off while digging tunnels barehanded. No, none of that's the worst. The worst is that I've got to document it all, then hide the notes from the guards. Each escape must be noted down in detail, otherwise my employers won't have a basis for releasing my pay. The work of a professional escapologist is not easy, my friend. Ugh. So 25th day, so 3 days later, this time I was given a contract in Toussaint. This is going to be a piece of cake. The guards are fat, drowsy, and the walls pocketed, illegible fragment. I was given a thorough hiding today. Those guards are fat and indolent, true, but they know how to whip. Blast. I think I'm getting too old for this. I'll finish this contract, and then it's time for a change of trades. So 3 more days later, Ha! I'm one lucky whoreson. My fellow inmate, a man wrongfully convicted, told me a story about an elven treasure trove hidden underwater somewhere south of the prison. I've been there. I believe he sensed I was planning an escape. I'm supposed to take that sly rogue with me in exchange for the key. Perhaps that's my ticket to an early retirement. Illegible fragment. And then another 3 days later, perhaps? I completed my dig only to learn I had miscalculated and exited right into the lake. My companion had not learned to swim, it seems, and now he never will, for he sleeps the big sleep dreaming of fish. Sadly, I didn't manage to take the key to the elven treasure from him. Took all my strength just to get back to our cell, where a pack of guards were waiting for me. They knocked out a few of my ribs and a handful of teeth, but I should heal. So 10 days later, things are good. They've moved me to another cell. Bars on the windows saw these days when the elves ran Toussaint. So I'll loosen those rust-rotten rods this evening, and then it's into the lake. It's a long drop, true, but that's no worry for me. Then I'll report back to my employer and check out that tale about a treasure. If all goes well, I'll soon be done with Escapology. So applied Escapology. Find a key near the flooded tunnel. I found the entrance. Okay. Oh, there's stuff down there. Oh, sorry, Geralt. Okay. So down we shall go. Let's drink our killer whale. There's somebody's body. Several somebody's bodies. Oh my, several somebody's bodies. Okay. Oh no, we're gonna get stuck. And then we're gonna drown. Okay, here we go. That's better. There's the key that I need, and I know exactly where I need to go because I put a little marker. Ooh, purple armor die, red armor die. I just need the recipe, please, for... Oh gosh, my breath is totally running out. And up, Geralt, up. Whew! So I have a feeling it wants me to go to where I went when I was, when I was doing the Not Island of Dr. Moreau quest. Okay, here we are, back to the elven ruins. And let's take care of some drowners, and back down here we go to the chest, and then we'll probably be done for today. But I want to see what I get. An escapologist. I mean, how is that even a thing? I think it's this one here. Yes. Powdered pearl. All right. Well, let's come up here. Get my breath back. Exit down again, and then we will have a look at applied escapology quest. And I can remove this marker, and let's find that quest. So, wandering around outside the prison, Geralt came upon a desiccated human skeleton. The notes he found on the remains proved interesting. Oh, so he didn't survive the jump out of the tower. Oh, I thought, oops, I didn't notice that. Strong winds whirled around Crane Isle at times, so the bones of which were found were bleached, polished, and clean. They had belonged to a specialist in escapology. The professional's métier, I think, had been to test the invulnerability of penitentiaries to flight by their inmates. He had performed this service around the world, time and again letting himself be imprisoned, then striving to escape. It seemed this had been his last attempt, yet in the notes he had last compiled, he had also made mention of a sunken elven vault. It was said to lie somewhere in the water near the prison. Needless to say, the Witcher was interested. Geralt located these sunken ruins and the elven riches hidden within them. He collected the latter and promptly set off in search of new adventures, content to be suddenly much better off. We did loot. It shouldn't go to waste, right? But anyway, in tomorrow's video, I think I will continue some exploration. I need to check my side quests to see if there's any side quests around here that I can also be working on. But I think I want to do at least these 4 question marks, maybe this 5th one here, explore all around here, and then go and do the quest for Regis, and I don't know, kind of go from there. But like I said, I need to figure out my side quests, because I want to make sure that I can get everything done and I don't do it in an order where things suddenly become failed. But anyway, that's a problem for me to solve, and we'll go from there. So as always, thank you so very much for watching. Please do keep yourselves safe, and I will see you again tomorrow with another new Witcher 3 video.